That's a pretty door. It looks like the weather has finally improved here on Cape Cod, doesn't it, T-Rex? Are you eager to go out the door? He's got his leash in his mouth. He thinks he can run over to Anna's, but that's not the case, Rex. But you can run out about 20 or 30 feet here at 7:30 in the morning on this nice Friday, September 19th, the last Friday of celestial summertime. And it may actually feel like that on Cape Cod today, where yesterday was kind of a bummer. The sun came out at the very end of the day, but it was a long haul. While most of New England was in the 80s with sunshine, we were down here in the 60s with mist. Well, this morning, it's a clear sky. I didn't even look at the satellite imagery, but there's a front over New England that's going to bring in cooler air, but it's going to take a day to get here. So this morning, we checked the temperatures. At 7 a.m., it was 62 in Bingham, Maine, and 52 in Rangeley, Maine, 57 at Highgate, Vermont in the Champlain Valley. And then down here in southern New England, about the same. So we have kind of an isothermal atmosphere this morning. But national advisories, watches, and warnings say we've got the blue and the dark blue here in New England. There is a freeze warning in effect for tonight in those dark blue areas in northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, where this morning at 62, it's going to be close to 32 in 24 hours with a slight chance of ice on the bird bath. Where it was 82 in Rangeley yesterday, could be 32 tomorrow. And then as you expand out, there is a flood warning near Death Valley, California this morning. The lowest place in North America, elevation-wise, is having flooding rain. And that is scary because of the way that ground is so hard and those canyons can flood so fast. So flash flooding in the southwest. And that is from the leftover of Tropical Storm Mario. This coming out of the, what is this, Phoenix or somewhere there in Southern California, southern Arizona. The National Weather Service says the remnant of Tropical Storm Mario is causing the flooding rains in the southwest desert. And believe it or not, some of that rain could end up in New England next week. There have been some wholesale changes to about this 6-day forecast now for next week, which should be very interesting. Here's the national surface map from this morning, and you have that storm, the remnant of Mario in the southwest. And you have another low in North Dakota, South Dakota, very heavy rain, perhaps some severe weather in the north central plains. And then here in the northeast, we have a front right over us. You wouldn't know it, though, by looking at the sky, but there's a wind shift happening. It's going to get kind of breezy with that 1028 high coming out of southeastern Canada, and that's the coldest high we've had since way back in early June. I break for birds and cod. You can't really hear the birds, though. I get on my noise-canceling mic, but at least that gives us consistent audio, right? So looking over there, when the moon went down this morning, oh, what a spectacle. Chris Biello was how I was greeted this morning on X with this great morning, he says, from Belmont, New Hampshire, with the moon. You can see actually the earth shine on the moon, the part where the sun's not hitting it, and then that was the love planet, Venus, very close to the moon, and a little looking like they're right next to each other, even though they were millions of miles away from one another. But also a beautiful sight this morning. And Rachel Waterman, I believe this is from Sandwich on the Cape Cod side of the Cape Cod Canal this morning over the Sagamore Bridge, asking Cindy Fitzgibbon, is that Venus next to the moon? Yes, it is. It was this morning as we approached the new moon on Monday. And yeah, there will be an eclipse. Bill Nelson says, is there going to be an eclipse somewhere? Yeah, there's going to be an eclipse, a lunar eclipse partial at the South Pole, if you're interested in headed for the South Pole. And whenever there's a new moon or a full moon, there's a chance of some kind of eclipse, solar or lunar. Usually in the new moon, it'd be lunar. But that's another story. So that's on Monday. That's the first day of celestial autumn. It just coincides with the new moon on Monday also. And we are in pretty much cruise control here for a couple of days until then. I get heavy dew, and we're going to have the heavy dew again. Boy, I'm still marveling over that way over performer on Wednesday night, Thursday morning rain yesterday. 1.2 in Norwood, 2 inches in Brewster. None of us had that in the short range forecast. So these weather systems sneak up on us, and 2 Sundays ago now with that heavy rain. So we've had a couple of nice welcome surprise rainfalls, although that one yesterday was pretty isolated here to southeastern New England. But there are wholesale changes to the forecast for next week. I mentioned that. Nashua, New Hampshire, here's the meteogram. And it shows the temperature today still 75 to 80. Here on Cape Cod will probably be one of the warmest spots opposite of yesterday. And then the temperature and the dew point do come down tonight, and the wind picks up a little bit, but it's not that windy in most of New England, except for in northern Maine. I think it is windy. Elevated fire danger also in New England with the dew point going down. Not so low as it was a couple days ago. It was forecast to be around 32, but now it's forecast to be in the 30s over the weekend. Thankfully, there's not a lot of wind, so the elevated fire danger is probably not going to be a red flag warning. And the freeze is possible, and then we start to warm it up, and temperature by Monday and Tuesday now get back close to 80, maybe low 80s. But the change is now they've put rain in there Tuesday night and Wednesday. So much for that 85 degrees next Wednesday and Thursday. That's gone. That was there for a couple of days now, threatening some record warmth for late next week, and I was buying into it too. But now that's been kind of canceled, or at least delayed. Due to a front that's coming in here, that California rain, and a front from Canada Tuesday into Wednesday, with temperatures cooling off again the middle and late part of next week. But then it does warm up later in the 10-day period up towards next weekend. Maybe we'll be back up to near 80 degrees, maybe. All right, so what's going on? Oh, we should also talk about the National Hurricane Center. I was about to show the Euro, but I'll show you the tropical storm Gabrielle having a tough time intensifying. It looks like a half a storm out there. And the wave that came off Africa on Tuesday, the National Hurricane Center gave up on. That's that little white spot between Gabrielle and the new yellow X. The new yellow X being a very low chance probability of a wave developing that's coming off Africa right now. So Gabrielle is the only storm in town in the tropics on our side of the world, and it's forecast to become a hurricane only slowly and then curve out well east of Bermuda. So I doubt we'll even get any surf from that. So incredible drama in this slow drama department in the hurricane department, tropical cyclone department. Who knows? It still goes another couple months, but this is just really weird. Every year we say, oh, it's going to be a very active season, and usually it is, but not this year. There's the sun. Hello, sun and green dot, and I can zoom in and out, and nothing changes. Breeze is picking up here. I think we're going to get the wind from the west and northwest, and that's when Cape Cod has some of the warmest weather. All right, so now let's just go to the play-by-play using the Euro model, and I'm almost tempted to use the GFS. I got to tell you that before I start, because the GFS was on to this sort of cooler solution with wet weather possible next week. And the reason we don't use the GFS for the most part right now is because it always tries to form a hurricane hitting North America, but it has not been playing that game in the last 3 weeks. So we may be shifting to the GFS pretty soon, especially if it looks like it's going to start getting snowy. And the GFS does actually show quite a bit of snow across North America, but that's a story for another day, like maybe next week. All right, so now let's just go to the Euro, because it has been pretty good to us over the last several months, at least in the 3 to 5 day. The 5 to 10 day hasn't been that great. And here it is, the high pressure system coming in out of Canada. It's a cold high, a lot of isobars, and the packing of the blue lines and the red lines. Those are the thickness lines there, especially in Maine and eastern Canada, where it may be snowing a little bit in Quebec, and then that high is coming right over us. Meantime, there's a new storm forming on the front to the south of us. It's going to be going well east of North Carolina this time, as opposed to last time. On Sunday into Monday, the high is right over us, and then here comes a front. That low from the Central Plains and some energy from that California leftover Mario energy is coming at us as the low goes north of us on Monday night and Tuesday. We do warm it up on Tuesday, probably back to 80, but then the front comes in, and now this is a wholesale change. That front settles south from Canada, so all of a sudden we have new air from Canada next Tuesday, resulting in cyclogenesis, a wave on the front cuts off and deepens. We have low pressure going right across central New England on Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon, and then it keeps on going. So that's a threat for rain, and it could be measured in the inch or two department. The GFS would have us in the 2 to 3 inch department. The GFS stalls that, but the Euro keeps it going. And then once again, we still have that upper trough. I'm not sure where it's coming from, in the middle of the nation. And we have warm air spreading across most of eastern Canada. This is our opportunity for record warmth, with the 570 going over us and well to our north on Friday into Saturday. But here comes a front from both the south and the north on Saturday afternoon. It looks like it's trying to rain, and this has been a consistent signal from the guidance now. And I know that's day 8 and 9 on Saturday, and then Sunday is now day 10, and that's Sunday, September 29th, and it does show the front right over New England, with new cool air trying to come at us from Canada and some rain shower activity. So next weekend could end up wet, could. And then if I slide it down a little further, it looks like there is some kind of a tropical cyclone, very weak there east of the Bahamas in the Atlantic Ocean on day 10. So we'll be watching the tropics, but that's just incredibly quiet, and it's a real moving target with that midweek rain. I got to tell you, the GFS generates more than 3 inches of rain for Nashua, New Hampshire next Wednesday into Thursday. The Euro has 1 inch, and most of the other global guidance that we don't even really ever talk about has very little. So I think that that's the end of the weather part. Yesterday, yesterday was a wonderful day in the Tim Kelly world. Frank Andriakis and Charlie Orloff took me on a tour out there in Barnstable Harbor, and the number of birds we saw off the charts. Herons, egrets, great egrets, ducks, gulls of all kind that I couldn't even identify. But the weird thing was that the fog got thicker instead of thinner, and we had to use our foghorn going back in to find the Millway Marina and get our boat back to the dock. And then we came back here to South Dennis. T-Rex spent the day with Anna, his favorite place to see. Okay, he just heard me say it, and he starts walking in your direction, Anna. Not yet, Rex, not yet. And then we came back, and it was kind of frustrating waiting on the sun, and I kept thinking the sun was going to come out, and it didn't. And I talked about that quite a bit, and we ended up going down to Sesuit Harbor. So we started the day at Sandy Neck, Barnstable Harbor, then ended the day at Sesuit Harbor and watched the sun come out from under the clouds just in the nick of time, and the lobster roll. Fun boat out of Sesuit Harbor where you get lobster rolls and cocktails, and sunset out on Cape Cod Bay was coming in, and they gave us a little wave there. And T-Rex was at Anna, so he missed all that. But Jeff, my neighbor, was over there fishing. He said those are peanut pogies in the peanut bunker. Peanut bunker, that's what he called them. Manhattan, pogies, whatever. All that stuff was jumping when we went out in Barnstable Harbor yesterday, too. So the fish are biting. He says the stripers are back in. He didn't get any keepers, but he's been caught about 5 stripers this week. So it would be... I have 108 videos I made yesterday. 48 minutes I have to whittle down now to... about maybe 15 more minutes of this video, and it's called Yesterday's Weather Today and More. T-Rex, where are you going? T-Rex, you want to go see Anna, don't you? All right. You're not gonna. What do you see? What do you see? All right. Talk to you. Oh, here's the and more. Yesterday's Weather Today. What a day. And more from our Thursday. The car looks nice, doesn't it? It just doesn't have windshield wipers. And we're about to set sail out of here. And it's just getting bright. The sun's just coming up right now. I think Mr. Orloff and Frank are somewhere around here. Cormorant doing a cormorant thing. Hey, the sun's not even up. What do you think? He doesn't care. And we're going right out underneath here, which is so fascinating. I've always visited here, but I've never been invited out. But there's Captain Frank and Mr. Orloff, and yay. Always making new friends. Hi, I'm Tim, the weatherman.
Yeah, I'm Tony.
Tony, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You're going out of Barnstable Harbor. What's your mission today?
Catch some yellowfin tuna and possibly a swordfish.
Oh, where are you going?
We're going to one of the canyons.
Canyons?
Off the edge.
They got canyons in the ocean?
Yes, well, they're called canyons. They're like big drop-offs. Goes, 900 feet to 3,000 feet.
Wow.
Certain canyons, and they're very popular. It's where the Gulf Stream brings the warm water in from Florida. And the yellowfin tuna and the other type of fish are in the canyons.
And how long of a trip is that?
It's going to be an overnight. We're going to get over there and then...
When do you think you'll have lines in the water?
By noon, maybe 1 o'clock.
Okay, so
it's a long trip.
It's about 8, it's 7 now, so yeah, it's about 7 hours, right. Maybe something like that. 5 hours.
The canyon we're going to, I plotted on my Navionics thing. It's 160 miles one way.
Okay, so you get a lot of fuel and provisions.
Well, I got two fuel bladders, so I got an extra 100 gallons.
Oh, nice.
Because the boat doesn't have enough.
Now, the windshield wiper just fell off. I know that feeling.
Yeah, well, we need a new windshield wiper, so we bought one last night.
Yeah. I came in without windshield wipers myself in my car this morning. Yeah. Very nice to meet you, Tony.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay, have fun, and can't wait to hear what you caught.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my phone number.
All right.
To the canyon, into the fog. At least there's not much wind, but they get overnight provisions. Charlie, what were you saying? An embarrassing moment here at the harbor?
Yeah, that I had a whole group of people to take out on a boat from this very area here, and we started the engine and went back, and I'm out here and there's no steering. The guy who did the boat never hooked up the steering.
Okay, can we test the steering, Frank, real quick? Oh, yeah, it's moving. Okay. Do we have oars? Look at the bait. What's jumping around here, Frank? Look at it all. Are those like pogies or something like that? Or Manhattan?
What do you think these are?
Little fish. They're little fish technically, but they're everywhere. Interesting. We don't have buoys here. We got poles.
They must be running from something, right?
Either that or they're running from your boat.
Why?
That's right.
Why go all the way out to the canyons? Charlie says this is the Barnstable Harbor Yacht Club, and these are the yachts. He was a member here since 1971. Look at that. The most quaint yacht club in New England. Charlie, what was the yacht club originally called?
It's called a beer club.
Pier.
Beer. Yeah, because it's just a beer. It's just a swimming club, basically.
So why did they change the name to Yacht Club?
Then they started, sailing smaller boats, Beetle Cats and Rose 18, and they had to become a yacht club if they wanted to race other.
Oh, gotcha. Pretty boggy. Scudder Lane, best clamming and oystering on Cape Cod. And we've got our first egret. I mean heron. Get the birds right, Tim. You're gonna see a lot more of them. Crossed over the oyster grants between them, and now we're out at the marsh at Sandy Neck. And I have never been here before. This is why we wanted an incoming tide. I think the sun's gonna come out. So it's just wonderful. Cape Cod estuary, all kinds of life out here. Never know what you're gonna see. Look at that, it looks like it's made out of the reeds. Charlie, what do you suppose that is?
It looks like a blind for hunters.
Hunters can hide in there and then take out their prey. So we're kind of paralleling Sandy Neck. The peninsula is 7 miles long. Now we're getting into the, looks like swallow territory. So this marsh just goes on and on. I think it ends up going back in around 6A, Frank says. But we're running thin on water, so we're gonna come about. Sorry to bother you, but you're pretty to look at. Just please don't land on our boats. Great blue heron. So technically they're all in the heron family. And that one's a bully. And then we've got the, I think, mostly great egrets. Good morning. Sorry to bother you. So the great egret has the yellow bill, and it's much longer, and the snowy egret has the dark bill. You just won the egret lottery. That was the best. Thank you. They can be tall or they can be short. So the great egret has the yellow bill, and cranes keep their necks straight. So these are all egrets. I'm not sure if we have cranes around here anyway.
We're definitely chasing.
And what are these darker birds? Are those all cormorants? I guess they are. So not only do trees turn golden in the fall, so does the marsh.
Yeah, I think
Heron will eat crickets, minnows.
they're diving. The smaller birds.
They're carnivores.
Up and down.
I guess I'm gonna have to do a special video just on birds of Sandy Neck, because this is way and more and more and more. Just about 8 a.m. here out on the north side of Barnstable near Sandy Neck on September 18th. It is Egret and Gull and Cormorant Mecca. And I think that the osprey are mostly on their way south. We have not seen an osprey today. And then there's this building over here. Is that a house in a marsh? Wow. I feel like, what's that? A swallow? So what's that house out there? Is it inhabited?
What's the name of it? Hattery House?
I think the Handys own a house here.
Okay.
And I think that might be it. But the fog, I can't really tell.
So you can drive, right? Drive over the dunes of Sandy Neck to get there. They're all heron, but the white ones are called egrets, and that's a great blue heron, I believe. There's a handy house, maybe, and that one's a snowy egret right there, because it's got the black bill, see? So the other ones are great, this one's snowy. And I wouldn't know that if it weren't for the viewers of Out the Door Weather and More. Wow, it's fast. And then there are the greats. Can I stand with you guys for a minute? Now you can really see the difference in the size. Thank you for that demo. Pardon us. So these birds are all just fishing. And we're interrupt their morning breakfast. I don't know what these little gulls are called. Anybody want to help me with that? Visibility is getting worse instead of better. Oops. Hey, weatherman, how do you get paid for being wrong all the time? Well, I don't get paid at all.
Friends of Barnstable Harbor, basically, their fundraising is for a Center of Coastal Studies investigating what's going on with the harbor.
What is going on?
It's pretty healthy.
Looks
That's
very
news.
good.
You
And
know, some people wonder why we're doing the study because it is so healthy. But with the, as opposed to some of the South Shore bays that don't get the flushing that this gets, the flushing is what keeps the harbor so healthy.
that's what we're trying to do at Bass River to get more of a water flow there.
Yeah.
Frank, do you have any idea where we are right now?
Yeah, we're almost to the little Sandy Neck community. We'll be seeing it in a second through the fog.
I was kind of kidding, but yeah, we get a map, and we're near the point on Sandy Neck. So this whole journey has been all Barnstable Harbor. I had no idea how vast it is. And the weather is getting thicker instead of thinner. Okay, I see Holmes How do you get to those houses?
You drive or come take the boat.
Drive 7 miles out Sandy Neck? So is this the point of Sandy Neck?
Not yet.
Good morning, everybody. Anyone got some coffee? How about a breakfast sandwich?
Come out here?
Come out here and sleep all summer.
That would be a wonderful way, wonderful commute.
This is fairly new.
So are we at the very point now?
They raise, not the point just yet, but it's
We'll
The-
so what? 150 years ago, this was the point, but the Sandy Neck extended out.
So we've got actually a place where the land is building and not subsiding.
And this is where the lighthouse was at the point years ago.
Okay, so Sandy Neck is actually growing. All that is new, relatively speaking. So all this is new deposits. Sandy Neck is actually getting longer. Barrier beaches are transient. What a fun tour. And it's only 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. What's for breakfast? Here I am, 62 years old, and I've never been out to the point at Sandy Neck. Wow, look how far it goes now. That's how much it's grown.
Yeah, but my understanding was they would bring whales onto this one.
Instrument flight rules. Doesn't get much thicker than this. Can't even tell if that's an occupied skiff or not. Wow. It's probably sunny about 200 yards up. What'd you just say?
Now I know where we are.
Where are we?
We are in the far west mooring field.
Oh, you can feel the sun trying to come through the fog right now. Any second, as soon as we get done. I could lay that out and walk to the end of it and throw a harpoon. Thanks. 8:51 a.m. and I think we're getting back into the docking area. Here we come. Yeah, unnecessary noise so we don't run over anybody or get run over. Excuse me, can you recommend a breakfast joint around here somewhere? Yeah, it's right over there.
Good morning.
Just keep going straight and then take a left. I think. All right, so the whole thing is Barnstable Harbor. And then you come in here and this is called the marina. And now we can just barely make out the whale watch boat and our dock. Right there. Frank says the fog does not get much thicker than this. What causes this anyway? Well, no wind anyway. We get that going for us. Whatever those breadcrumbs you dropped were, it worked.
They worked.
Thank
I
you very
wasn't so sure. There were moments in that fog I wasn't sure whether or not we were making it back.
Thank you so much, Frank. This is
You're
great.
Very, very welcome.
And Charlie for getting us together.
It's always a pleasure to share this kind of thing.
Man, it's tight in here. Imagine being the captain of that boat and turning it around. There's a gull right above our web camera. Are we in the time lapse right now? 4 hours later, it's still gray. Come on, when we get off the boat, it was trying to brighten up. I saw some blue sky in Barnstable Village where we had breakfast at the Buttercup Cafe. in Barnstable Village. Highly recommend that. The hash Benedict was out of this world. And also our quiet weather week not being quiet at all. I just learned since getting off the boat, 2 inches of rain last night in Brewster. Charlie in Mashpee says he got 3/4 of an inch, and the back edge of that cloud is still over Boston on our quiet weather week, full of enigmatic high pressure. That's happened quite a few times. There's the center of the swirl now, east of Cape Cod, that last vestiges of that high barometer nor'easter. And there is a Thursday front from the northwest, too. There is that. And then there's the beautiful weather between. Burlington, Vermont, having a glorious day. The sun will come out. Where's T-Rex? Anyone seen T-Rex? Anna, you gonna hold him hostage? Okay. Anna, let me have T-Rex for a little while. Come on, Rex, let's go for a little walk. I was thinking that by the time I found you, we would have found some sunshine. Feels like it's trying, but I've said that so many times, and now it's 4 o'clock. And I see that places like Nashua, New Hampshire, 82 degrees and beautiful. Yeah, off Cape, well, just about Boston, points west and north. It's about 82 degrees with sunshine this afternoon. Oh my goodness, what a difference. Meanwhile, Jeff confirmed that we got 1.1 inches of rain here on our lawns. Quite a surprise. Oh, look at these holly berries. Oh, they're doing well, huh? Yeah, more and more and more. And Rex is looking for mommy, and she's not here. He likes the ladies more than he likes me, that's for sure. Sorry to disappoint you, Rex, but mommy's with the cats. Bark mulch and pine needles float. Quite the gully washers last night. Erosion on our dirt roads, which we've been fixing forever and ever. I think I'm gonna hold out for a little sunshine right at the end of the day, 6:30 maybe. Oh, cardinal. Lots of birds. Hey there, handsome. We've had so many different kinds of birds in the last 2 days. Can't get enough. Well, when you have a gray Wednesday and Thursday, odds are that the sun's going to come out on your Saturday and Sunday. So we got that going for us. Yeah. It's your world. We're just living in it. 6 o'clock. I was just about to give up hope, but there is brightness on the horizon. Dennis Yacht Club. Normally the hardest place to park, but I'm a townie and it's off season, so I think we can get away with it. We're going to look to see if there are fish and or sunshine. Day ends as it began, close to Cape Cod Bay. Most popular restaurant on the north side of Dennis. Oh, so close to the sun. Do I have to go to the other side to see the sun?
You can go right there and see the sun if you want.
Yeah, but it's like a
It's
10-minute
easier.
ride.
You can go up to the point, right up here at the end of the road. There's a little beach right up there.
Any chance you could catch a fish for us real quick?
I wish I could.
Come on, do it.
Not guaranteed. Maybe you being here is bad luck.
Maybe me being here is good luck.
We'll see.
It's gonna be close. I don't think I'm gonna make it. 6:25 now on the east side of Sesuit Harbor. It's called Cold Storage Beach. I like to say weather chases me, but I am definitely chasing weather right now.
Nice to talk to you. Come here.
I don't know who that was.
But she's on the bar doing it.
It's about to come underneath that cloud. So I just had to drive a few minutes around Sesuit Harbor. There's Jeff. Catch a fish for us. And the sun is about to come out underneath the cloud. Just like they said. They come from all over the place to get this picture. It's gonna get better and better and better. More and more and more. just in case I haven't mentioned it enough times. This is where I grew up. Oh, so blessed. It's looking east towards Eastham. 1 to 2 inches of rain last night with thunderstorms. Been getting up very early. And Frank and Charlie treating us to an incredible tour in the dense fog of Barnstable Harbor and Sandy Neck. And looking in that direction right now from Dennis on the east side of Sesuit Harbor. Technically this is called Cold Storage Beach. And was there ever a doubt the sun would come out? They said it was going to be a quiet week. Quiet weather doesn't really exist. It's all beautiful. I hear it's raining in San Diego right now. That's a stranger I have yet to meet. And my neighbor Jeff, who measured 1.1 inches of rain in South Dennis, is over there casting for stripers. I have not walked out on this jetty on the east side of Sesuit Harbor like this in decades. What's that saying? Once you get the sand of Cape Cod in your shoes, you can never leave. I've come and gone and come and gone and come and gone, but I'll never leave. Oh, this video is way too long. How can I stop? Would you? I break for gulls. It's just an average herring gull. Is that right? With the red tip on his beak? How about the clouds? They just won't stop. That's lift right there. Or high barometer nor'easter. Just refuse to give up. And I do believe back on Monday that I mentioned it might be an overachiever. It certainly was here on Cape Cod. How about some time lapse now, finally, and some piano music. Oh my goodness, can you see the power plant there in the lower right? That's at the east end of the Cape Cod Canal. So why don't we first do Dennis? No, let's first do Weymouth, because the sun came out in Weymouth, I think, mid-afternoon. Apparently we got more than 1/4 of an inch of rain. Very overachiever. First thing this morning with thunderstorms. One of the viewers says there was a lightning bolt so loud it woke him up in Braintree. He thought the house was exploding next door. That was pre-dawn. Now here we are, just about, I don't know, maybe 6:35, looking at the east end of the Cape Cod Canal, Sandy Neck over there on the left. And here's the Cape Cod time lapse. Sun tried there for a minute, didn't it? There around 11 o'clock in the morning, but then it thickened up and it started misting and it stayed misty. Played misty for me through 3 and 4 o'clock when I took Rex out earlier. Thank you for sharing Rex, Angela. And then right at the very end, maybe we saw the sun, but I can't tell because I'm standing on a jetty at Sesuit and that camera's over on Mayfair Road. Here we are at Cold Storage Beach with the sun next to the power plant. Your viewership is much appreciated. These long videos, I know. Is that the Lobster Roll Sunset Cruise out of Sesuit Harbor? I think it is. Is that the power plant at the east end of the Cape Cod Canal? I know it is. Is that the end of this video? Mercifully? Yes, it is. Thank you for watching. Thursdays are good if you can get them. Yep, lobster roll. That's it. Hey, how was dinner? Have you ever had a more beautiful sunset cruise in your life? I don't think you have. What a day, what a day.